I'm a corporate recruiter and I review your resumes. This person made the most common resume mistake that everybody makes. So they are in tech, and I review non-tech resumes as well. But this is a mistake that is across every single industry that I see. Is this person says, I want to be a software engineer? Cool. That's not really necessarily a job title that you can do it. So what you want to do, right? The real secret to making your resume is you make it tailored to a job title that you want. So instead of software engineer, we would pick a stack. So it would be full stack software engineer, backend Python, backend Java, backend C#.net, or front end. There's also AI and stuff as well, but those are the 5 core tenets. And this is the biggest issue that I see a lot of people that come across my desk make is they don't specify. And your resume is not a document that shows how good you are. It's a document that is a snapshot of a particular job title's relevant skills. So this person already messed up by saying software engineer. So never do this. Be specific. Be specific. So I'm going to review this as if this was a full stack software engineer. These are the keywords, which is basically the thing that the hiring team wants, right? They need someone to do this stuff. If you do not have this, you do not be moved forward. So what you need, right? You don't just need these. You need these in bullet points under a job or an internship or a project that shows how you did it and the reason and result. So skills sections do not count. So full stack software engineer. And this person has a garbage resume, not just because they, did the unspecific job title, but also because they told me their ratio, which is how you can tell how good or bad your resume is. So for every 50 applications you send out, you should be getting a minimum of 1 interview. The exception to that is if you're international, then it should be at a minimum of for every 100 you send out, you should be getting 1 interview. If it takes you more than 50 applications to get an interview, your resume is bad. Or you're applying in the wrong places, but your resume is bad. That is how you judge how good or bad a resume is. So what we need for a full stack software engineer is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, React, React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL or NoSQL, RESTful API or REST API, Cloud, any of them, although if you pick GCP, you need to put Google Cloud Platform, parentheses GCP, CI/CD, Git, .NET or Python or Java, so a backend language, and bonus points for AI, architecture, extra language, DevOps, and GraphQL. Notice how I said bonus points for AI. Most people mess up in tech specifically by shoving every single bullet point filled with AI. And the thing is, you don't want to do that. You want a little bit. It's a garnish on top of your meal, not the whole meal. So recruiters and hiring managers only have 20 seconds to find what we need. So can I find this in 20 seconds? No, because they have 150 plus, but let's see what's wrong with it. And go. Okay, your formatting's bad. Okay, this gives me nothing I need. iOS. Okay, that could be useful. React is nice. The rest of this I don't care about. Agentic is fine. AI tutor, but you already mentioned all this AI before. Nothing involving full stack. All right, constructed to AI. Again, that one's okay. Build CI/CD is good in Mongo, and then I don't care about this with the exception of Azure. Azure is good. I shouldn't have. Dataverse bad. Azure good. There we go. All right, so yeah, this would immediately fail. In fact, here's the big problem is I don't know what you are, right? You may not actually be a full stack software engineer. I picked full stack because I cheated a little bit and I had my chat, which is I review these live through Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter at 11 a.m. PST. I had my chat try to look to see if they could find it. We thought it was maybe full stack because they mentioned full stack up here, but there's no full stack. I see absolutely nothing involving full stack. I don't have enough stuff that I need for AI. This is nothing. This resume is nothing, right? That is the problem. So maybe you're like, okay, Lee, well, this is not full stack. This is an AI engineer, right? That's a role, AI engineer, right? AI engineer. These are slightly outdated keywords, but let's see if I could find them. So AI, ML, NLP, Python, TensorFlow, Cloud, NumPy, SDLC, CSD, Git, and that. And I still don't find most of those. I find some of them, but not enough. So your problem is you don't have enough experience here to be an AI engineer, right? There's not enough AI. There's not enough stuff for a back-end role. And there's just nothing. Like, you try to make your resume generalized. And you can never, ever, ever generalize your resume. Otherwise, this is what will happen, is you will have an entire resume filled with nothing. And it's not specified. And if I'm looking for a Python developer, you don't have enough Python. In fact, you don't have any Python. Can I even like search for this Python? Yeah, all the way down there. So you also, people can't, I'm going to see if people can see this. So down here, they had all this stuff in a skills section, right? I'm going to move this back to what people can actually see. And the problem is skill sections are garbage. You should not ever have a skill section. This person listed Python, Java, C, TypeScript, Java skill, blah, 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 AWS. But the thing is, if it's not in a bullet point that shows me how you did it and the reason and result of you doing it, it doesn't matter. Also, their formatting is bad. So formatting, you want to use this. The link below is in my website. The link is below in my website. Sorry, I'm recovering from like a full week and a half of no sleep, so I'm a little loopy. But this is not just a formatting issue. It's there's no content. And again, I need this stuff. Like, everybody thinks that this like 300% and this 40% and 70% and 9,000 points and 110 internal. Those are correction. The amount of internal users might actually be relevant, but the rest of those numbers, right, don't matter. Unless your resume is in sales or you're a manager, you should not have any number in your resume with the exception of work experience history, right? You want to show how long you've been at a job. And the phone number, please keep your contact information. And dates of... okay, redo. The only numbers you should have in your resume are if you just graduated, the dates of graduation, your phone number, which you absolutely need, and this stuff right here, right? Work experience, how long you've been there. Otherwise, unless you're in sales or a manager, you don't want a number. It's actually going to make your resume worse and harder to process. So that's all I can do for this one. And again, the big problem with this is, like, I don't know what you're going for, so I can't even tell you how to change it because it's so generalized that it does nothing. Like, you need to delete this and start again. You need to shatter this into about 3 to 4 separate resumes that are each tailored to a different job title, because this will get you nowhere, and it's actually getting them nowhere, right? Like, it's 150 plus to 1. This person is struggling. They are applying constantly and getting no interviews because of their bad resume, and I don't want anybody to have to deal with that. So I just want to thank you all, though, for watching, right? Thank you very much for liking and commenting and subscribing. This is all I can do with this resume, but there's going to be more resumes, about 4 more. And if you ever need any more help, you can join the live stream, like I said before. And I just want to thank my members who get access to videos a little bit early. The link to that is below. I want to thank you all for being members. I appreciate it. It means a lot to a small creator like me. Thank you. And let's go to the next resume so I can help you get a job. This is a software engineer intern. So every single intern, with the exception of masters and PhD interns, even across non-software engineers, so we're talking like accounting, accounting, software engineers, data scientists, non-tech as well, there's only 4 things an intern ever needs. They need their degree. They need a basic knowledge of the tech, which in this case is the tech stack. So language, library, SQL, cloud, the ability to work well with others, take direction, and criticism. Those are it. Those are the only things you need. If I do not see all of those, you will probably get rejected. But remember, I need 75% of these to move forward. So if you have a basic knowledge of tech stack and show that you can work well with others or take direction, that is enough to move forward. So 20 seconds on the clock. And again, this is the time where I'm trying to find any tech stack. When you are an intern, you do not need to pick a stack. When you are a full-time person, then you pick a stack. So, 20 seconds on the clock. And start. Okay, summary, cannot use. Achievements. That actually might be useful. Languages, cannot use. VP of Technology. Manage student associated report site internalize. Okay. Explore fundamental exercises with debugging. Let Unix designs. Interesting. I don't actually see anything. They say they're a 1 in 75, but I don't see it. Okay, I don't see how this is it. Let me read what they say. They say they have a 1 in 75, but this feels like a 1 in 150 to me, but maybe sometimes you can get lucky, or I'm wrong on this one. Let's see. I'm applying for software engineer intern roles in Montreal. Okay. But also in other Canada cities. Let's see. SAC. This is my 3rd semester applying for internships, and I haven't secured an offer yet. I've received a few online assessments and screenings, but only 1 interview. That interview came through a hackathon. Okay. So, right. You got that interview through a non-resume. So, to clarify, the ratio is only for those of you that apply cold, right? No referral, no nothing. If you use a referral or through some other method, then that does not count for your ratio. So, I've recently added a student associate role to my CV. Tech experience. Okay, yeah. So the problem with this resume is it doesn't have like anything I want. So, first off, again, you want your resume to look like this, okay? The only time you ever want a summary, there are 3 reasons. 1, you are switching industries. And I don't mean starting, I mean switching. So like if you decided you wanted to be a pottery maker from a software engineer, then you would need a summary that says why you're going to do that. The second is if you need to explain a visa, unless you need an H1 I approve 40, in which case no explanation will matter. Or third, you are relocating. Otherwise, this can be deleted. Oh, not the contact information. You need the contact information. Never delete the contact information. All right, don't delete that. So that can be deleted. Achievements, 2nd place, hackathon, full stack X platform. See, that's actually not bad, but I would move this into project section. So this is not achievement. This would be done down into the project section. But that actually can give you some relevant experience. So that part is good. You just need to move where it is. Then we get to here. Again, skill sections are worthless. Nothing in the skills section matters. So now you're starting to see why you're getting 0 interviews, with the exception of the one you got through the hackathon referral. Is because this is the only thing that actually matters. You wasted the first half of the first page on nothing. Then we go down to here. What do you mean a VP of tech? I'm hiring an intern. Why would I want a VP? And nothing here is relevant to actually being an intern. It doesn't say what tech stack you used. It doesn't say that you could work well together with others. And it doesn't say how you can take direction and criticism. Remember, interns need to show they can be led, not lead. There are some financial exceptions to that. Like finance interns sometimes do need leadership. But the fact that everybody coaches people on like leading for an intern, it's like, bro, you're an intern. You're going to get told what to do and do the grunt work. That's the job. So you've already, like, the only thing I have here is the achievements. And again, that is written incorrectly. Then we go down to here. So, computer science teaching assistant. This could be stuff. But where's anything? Like, this is my problem, is there's nothing here. Yeah, there's literally nothing here that is relevant. Like, you don't tell me what stack you used, right? You don't tell me how you took direction and criticism. You don't tell me how you scheduled people and worked well together with anybody else. The tutoring could be. That's actually something. There we go. Delivered high volume support. Okay, see, this is relevant to being an intern. This is actually pretty critical right here. I love this. This might get you an interview. Delivered high volume customer support and medical data entry manager. Okay, so I don't care about the prescriptions, but this is critical. You know what this shows? You can work well with others and you can take direction and criticism. Because my goodness, high volume customer support is that. This is a critical line in your resume, and it's all the way down here. Triage, perfect. This shows that you can work together. I like this. I like this. That should be all you need from this. But, like, where's the tech? I don't see how you use this as tech. Then we go down to projects. Okay. And again, you don't tell me what it is. So I need you to seriously just put the tech stack, right? I need you to say, worked with, in fact, here, we can use this as an example, built a full stack, whatever it was, platform, using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, or Java Spring Boot Maven, or Python, Docker, Fast API, whatever, in a SQL and using RESTful APIs for a nonprofit during a hackathon. That is the stuff I actually want. But when you're like submitting this resume, the reason you're getting nothing is, look at this. This is all blank. This entire resume is blank. This is what we see. Absolutely nothing. So fix your formatting, but most importantly, fix your bullet points, because that is the most important stuff. So that is why you're struggling, is this is what your resume actually look like. I'm not highlighting all of this, because there's like this is actually good. I like that part. Like that one. But anyway, that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is another software engineer intern. So same as the last one, we need a basic understanding of the tech stack, the ability to work well with others and take direction, criticism, and the degree. So 20 seconds on the clock. Also, this person was in my YouTube live stream, so they told me I can dismantle this and be as brutally honest as possible. So if I am extra mean to this person, it is because they asked for it specifically. Hopefully you don't have to. I don't actually like being mean. It is a required part of my job, and I think part of being a recruiter is that you end people's hopes, and it's better than giving people false hope. Giving people false hope is one of the worst things you can do as a recruiter. So I try to be as honest as I can, and I don't like the meanness, but if it helps people, it helps people, and I want to make sure people get the help they need. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let me get my highlighter up. So again, red is bad, green is good. And go. Technical courses, don't care. None of this matters. High school, probably not necessary, but if you're first year, maybe. Side project, village cheese clock. That plane is loud. I don't need anything here, mostly. Wrote a tic-tac-toe GUI, Scratch and Java. Okay, good. And then that is it. So, let me read their note, but this is bad. I'm looking for a summer internship within software development, hardware programming, anything related this year, but also for the future. I would also like to hear constructive criticism of how I can maximize my chances. I am based in Sweden. So again, I am a US-based recruiter. I have gotten people jobs in the EU and the UK, in Canada and Mexico and Africa and Australia, and I think it was Singapore. Not the Netherlands yet. I'm working on that. I got 3 people in the Netherlands. I'm trying to work on getting them a job. So, but yeah. So, yeah, your problem is just like you gave me too many... I probably should have said this earlier, but you gave me too many hot dogs instead of hamburgers. So, I'm going to give you a metaphor that I will probably have to give every single stream because I think it's very important, is... I want you to imagine that you are hungry, all right? And I assume there are hot dogs and hamburgers in Sweden. You are hungry for a hamburger. So you're like, all right, this is my lunch break. I got 30 minutes. I'm going to go to taco, hamburger, pizza, McDonald's, or what. I tried to make that agnostic to anything, and I just named every company. So you go to your local hamburger shop, and you say, hey, I want a hamburger with cheese, pickles, and onions, with ketchup and mustard, right? So cheese, pickles, mustard, ketchup, whatever. And they say, all right, got it, Mr. Software Engineer or Mrs. Software Engineer. So they go in and they bring it back, and you ask for a hamburger and they gave you a hot dog. And you're like, bro, what? Why would you give me this? And they say, well, a hot dog has a bun just like a hamburger. A hot dog has meat just like a hamburger. A hot dog can have pickles and onions and ketchup and mustard and cheese just like a hamburger. This is what you wanted. And you say, no, I wanted a hamburger. This is not a hamburger. And you get upset and you leave. And that is what you did here, is you gave us all of these hamburgers, right? Like, I don't care about the technical coursework. The interdisciplinary note is irrelevant. That is just not needed, right? So this can be deleted. This relevant coursework doesn't matter. High school, maybe. But then you go down here and it's like, I developed a fully functional chess clock. I read that as cheese clock. Using an Arduino Uno. Don't care about that. Using push button pins. Don't care. And LEDs. Don't really care. To display each player's time in writing in the back end in C#+. I do care. Using Arduinos. I don't care. The aim of this, again, nothing here is relevant. Now, if you're going... You might actually be going for what's called an embedded engineer, which is different than a software engineer. But you said software engineer, so I'm judging this based on this. But an embedded engineer is different than a software engineer, even though it's called an embedded software engineer. And then you go here. I wrote a tic-tac-toe GUI. Okay, fine. Gives me context. From scratch in Java. Okay, good. And implemented a min-max algorithm. Bro, don't care. To create an unbeatable game engine. Then I wrote a simulation to test. Don't care, 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 don't care. I care that you use Java. I care that you work together with others. I care that you took direction and criticism. I don't see any of this. Technical skills. Again, nothing there matters. Leadership and involvement. Remember, I don't want leadership. I do want involvement. Your job is not to lead. Your job is to be told to do grunt work, which really sucks, but that's what interns do. Facilitated weekly training sessions for groups of 12 students. Good. Translating my understanding of the game into actionable lessons. Yeah, that's good. I like that, actually. That gives context. I have additionally offered individual coaching. Don't care about that part. Achievements, competitive rating, I don't know what that is. Led a development program and group name. Again, don't care. So your problem with this resume, again, is that you give me almost everything that I don't want, which is a hot dog, right? And remember, I'm looking for hamburgers. I need you to state that you use the tech stack they actually care about, unless you're embedded, in which case they may want a different one. But, like, I want to see how you use Java. I want to see how you use SQL, how you used RESTful APIs, how you use C++, and the reason and result of doing that. I want to see that you can be told, hey, your unbeatable tic-tac-toe engine is garbage, and you don't punch them in the face and leave, which you could because it's your first internship. So that's the stuff I'm looking for. If it's not here, it doesn't count. That's what I'm saying, is this is hamburgers. What you gave me is hot dogs. And again, if you look at this, most of this is blank. Like, I understand why you put this, because you believe that it makes you appear better than everybody else, but your objective is not to show that you're better than everybody else in the resume. The objective is to show that you can do the bare minimums to get an interview. You do show you're better than everybody else in the interview, but not in the resume. So, next, resume. This is a resume of a full-stack software engineer. So, for a full-stack software engineer, we need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript. I already did this, didn't I? Yes, I said it at the beginning. So, you already know what this is. Do we know their ratio? We do not know their ratio. So, this is unknown. Could this be good? Could this be bad? I don't know, but let's find out. Next time on Right Now, Recruiter Z. All right, so 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, should be 1.5 lines, but fine. Developed in dashboard with React, TypeScript. Okay, good. Perfect. MLN feature flag, TypeScript, Python. You already mentioned that. Touching both web and AWS. AWS is good. Communicated directly with stakeholder needs. That's okay. Built a Chrome extension with React. Okay, good. No SQL. This might actually be moved forward. This might be a pass. I think this might barely pass, but I think it does pass. So my first job application went out on Wednesday. One of the weird things is that my 5 internships took place at only 2 companies. So yeah, I actually don't think this is bad. I think your formatting is bad, and I think there's a couple of errors, but you've definitely got the right idea here. So first off, use this formatting. This right here should be 2 lines max. You can include the award, but the reward should be the second line. This part that I have right here should be the first line. That is what you should do. Then again here, remember, this is italicized, not bolded, 1 line. And then let's go through to see what we have, right? So we have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. We have your degree, already perfection. Woo, good. All right. And then we have SQL, so good, already good. We've already gotten like 40% of what we need. And you describe what this is perfectly, so I don't even need to go over it. Perfection. I don't think there's a way I would really change that sentence. That's perfect. So then we go down to here, and this is where we start have a little bit of error. So what you want to do is never repeat the same keywords in the same job or internship or project. So it's very, very good to have Python here and, oh, you don't have it below. It's very, very good to have TypeScript here and TypeScript here. It's bad to have TypeScript here and TypeScript here. So You want to have it in multiple jobs, but you don't want to double up on it. Sometimes, though, you're going to have to, right? Like, it's not like if I see it the same time in the same job, you're going to get declined, but it does slow us down, and it could hurt your chances. So, a feature flag system is fine, but I don't care about it in an existing, right? And we can say in a repository. In fact, here, I don't know if I care. So, implemented a feature flag system touching both web, okay? AWS is good, but then we need more stuff here. So remember, you already repeated this, so this is only AWS, which is good, but I need more in this sentence. So I need more, and I need you to make it the AWS up front, because AWS is pretty big. They love seeing AWS. That's a big one, and GCP and Azure. So, and then this one is okay, but again, I want a little bit of keywords here. So I want you to put maybe CI/CD or Git here, or RESTful API, or React, or Node.js, or Angular, because it's a little sparse. Then we go down to here, and again, good first sentence. I don't think I care about GraphQL. You can just say APIs, but again, I'm really looking for RESTful APIs, or REST APIs. So that's what I'm looking for. To Atlassian, I don't think I care about. PostgreSQL, good. To Confluence DB, don't really care about. NoSQL. You already mentioned a SQL. They really don't care which SQL you have. So technically this is double up, but I prefer NoSQL over the other one. Which again, nothing. Java, good. SQL, good. Which you already mentioned it earlier. Yeah, actually your biggest problem with this is this should be up here, or move it to the second sentence. So again, you just have some superfluous stuff. And then here, and that's kind of my main problem here. So you have the stuff, your formatting is just tough to read a little bit, and you kind of bury what I want, right? Like you're burying the hamburgers, and I'm like, give me hamburgers, stop burying them. But overall, this is actually a good resume. I think this is enough to get you a maybe 1 in 50, but with my changes, it'll probably get you a 1 in 30 to a 1 in 25. You're a fresh grad. You're probably never going to get a 1 in 7. The market is just too brutal for fresh grads, but you can definitely make it lower. So overall, good. Those are some tweaks and changes you want to make, and it'll be much better. Next, resume. This is a mechanical engineering intern, which really not that different than any other intern. So again, take direction and criticism, work well with others, currently enrolled, and a basic knowledge of your industry, which in this case is going to be SolidWorks, CAD documents. And this is going to be very specific to mechanical engineers, is what the overarching like meta of your industry is. So like aerospace or circuit design. So the big picture, what you do, and then what you worked on in that. So the difference would be like aerospace engines, or automobile wheels, or boat brake systems, that kind of stuff. And then I need Microsoft Office, Revit 3D, and FEA. So 20 seconds on the clock. This person has a pretty good resume. So this is a 1 in 25. So this should be pretty solid. So 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Ooh, trilingual is good. All right, contribute to K-Batch alongside his vigor, proposing animation. Okay, nice. I'd like a little bit more, but not bad. But valuable through a bias, supporting reports. I don't know if I need that there. Reviewed and corrected supplier manufacturing drawings. AutoCAD, good. Plan specific required constraints. Okay. Precision weekly meeting with senior. Okay, good. Yeah. Again, like there's 1 or 2 flaws immediately, like in the formatting, and the second bullet point is. No, because Lean Six Sigma might actually be one. This is not bad. This does read to me like a 1 in 25. Again, I would fix the formatting, but I'd rather your formatting be bad than your bullet points be bad. So, hey, thank you for inspiring content. It really helped me understand how recruiters look at resumes. No worries. I recently updated my resume following my current internship. I'm a co-op in Canada, so I don't have a ratio, but during my previous job search, my interview ratio was roughly 1 out of every 15. And honestly, I can see it. These are mostly good. I'm going to be very nitpicky here. So, does this pass? Yes. I'm just going to make it go from like a 1 in 15 to a maybe 1 in 11 or something. So, first off, fix your formatting, right? Second off, this is pretty good. I'd like another keyword or two here, right? Like, this is a real easy one to slip in MS Office. So, you can say, contribute to the KPAP projects in a manufacturing environment. alongside the director of engineering by creating documents in Microsoft Excel, Worklab, blah, 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 and proposing automation solutions for product lines and industrial equipment. Applied Lean Six Sigma principles, I think that's something you want, but I want a little bit more. And I don't know if VSM studies is what I'd be looking for, or ROI, but I like how you wrote this because it shows what you did. Then reviewed and corrected supplier manufacturing drawings using AutoCAD. Again, good, like it, and met with senior meetings. So, and if anything, I think this should really be 3 bullet points max, and you could probably condense one of the first 3 into one of the others. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Tells me, like, again, you just have minor formatting issues. So overall, fantastic resume. In fact, I need to start making and marking really good resumes. So let me mark this as one of them, because this is a pass. So this is going to be a pass. Yeah, I love this. Good job. So that's all I can do for this resume. And again, like, it's good. There's not really much more I can tweak. That's all for this resume, and I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for commenting, hitting that subscribe button, and sharing this with your friends and family. I am a small creator, and this really does help me out. And thank you to my members who, I can get access to videos a little bit early, and again, thank you for it. Like, I'm bad at giving thanks, but, like, y'all make my day, so thank you. I appreciate it. And if you ever need any other help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, and I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.